guys, so today I am going to be doing my Q&A. I'm really excited. I got a lot of really interesting questions. So I'm doing this just because I finally reached 1,000 subscribers in 2018. And yeah, I'm just really excited about that, and I wanted to answer some questions that you guys might have had about me. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I also wanted to say Happy New Year. It is now 2019. I hope you had a great New Year's Eve, and I hope that this year is everything that you want it to be, because it's a new year and a fresh start. So yeah, let's just get into the questions. I'm going to be putting the people who asked them on the screen so I don't mess up anybody's names. So yeah, let's just get into it. So the first question is, when did you first get into books? I was reading when I was very young. I remember reading a lot of children's books before I even went to kindergarten, but I think what really got me into books was around like early 2000s. My mother found out that the Lord of the Rings movies were coming out, and she was really into the Lord of the Rings books and really wanted her children to be into them. So every night she would read to me and my sister from the Lord of the Rings so we could be ready for the movies. Not only did I think that made my love for the Lord of the Rings so much better, but that routine of reading with my mom every night or her reading to me every night the Lord of the Rings was just something that I always look forward to, and I really enjoyed the story and listening to her tell me that story. So I think that's what got me into reading, even though I wasn't necessarily reading the books myself. It was just such a communal thing for me, my sister, and my mom to get in bed and then just read together like a chapter every night or something like that. And we did end up finishing The Hobbit and The Fellowship of the Ring before the first movie came out, and then read the last two books before the second movie came out. So it was like a great and amazing experience, and that's kind of what really sparked my interest, and really what I became a very voracious reader after that. I read a lot of young adult contemporary and middle grade books after that, and then that kind of just really drove my reading. And then once I hit college, I kind of dropped out of reading for a while, at least for more pleasure reading. I was still reading for school and everything, but not really reading for myself. So then after college, I kind of got back into it. So yeah, that's kind of my entire story. So yeah, there you go. The next question is, what are your top 5 books and what type of music do you listen to? So this is really hard. It's really hard for me to say what my favorite books of all time are. But if I were gonna pick, I would definitely have to go with Ghostwritten by David Mitchell. I absolutely love David Mitchell's style of writing and the way he kind of interloops different narratives together. I also really like And Again by Jessica Chiarelli. That is kind of like a sci-fi that talks about what would happen if people were given a second chance at life. And I really just love the characters. It's definitely more of a character-driven novel. A lot of the mechanics and the science behind what happens to these characters isn't really explained, but I don't think it needs to be. I just really love the different characters and how they interact and how they change or don't change throughout the course of the novel. I'd also have to say I know this is kind of cheating, but I have to go with the entire Broken Earth trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. This trilogy in general is just so amazing. There's a lot of diverse and interesting characters. The plot is really interesting. It is I guess considered sci-fi and fantasy. It is more on a high level, so if you're more into contemporary novels, you probably won't enjoy it. But I really love the story. I really love how it ends and all the different characters. And I love the way the first book is presented. I think it was very different, and I probably was a little slower to catch on to what was happening than most readers, but I really liked that. What else? 2 more books. I'd have to also go with The Mothers by Britt Bennet. I think that is a really great story, not only because it depicts African American lives in a very believable way. It doesn't really follow the stereotypical tropes of what a black family or Black lives are like, and I really liked how normal the characters felt in that. But it also deals with a lot of like tough issues like abortion and mental illness in a really good way that I enjoyed. I think a lot of people had issues with the open-endedness of the end of the book, but I really like that Britt Bennet does a really good job of writing the story, and it's just beautifully described, and a lot of the bits of the story are kind of told this collective group of old ladies that are operating the church. So it's just a really good book. And finally, I'm gonna go with Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. I had to input like a little bit of nonfiction into this. I listened to this book, but I think it's really amazing. Trevor Noah is a hilarious person, and just listening to his story was very inspiring and very interesting. I haven't read a lot about like South Africa in general, and this was kind of my first dive into that. I just love how he explains things in a way that is easy to understand. You can kind of get the context of his jokes, get the context of his story. So highly recommend it. It is hilarious. I got it as a gift for last year for Christmas, and I didn't think that would be something I would be interested in. So it was definitely a book that surprised me, so I really enjoyed it. And now the music that I listen to. I listen to a pretty wide variety of music. Generally, I'm not really listening to anything like new. I like old school music. Pretty much anything that was in the 90s I'm really into. I listen to a lot of different stuff, and generally it's probably like more obscure or trashy. I don't know. I don't really talk about the kind of music that I listen to because it's so different and personal, but I really like listening to anything that's like lo-fi or like that, like just chill kind of music like that. I really like Aurora. I think her music is really good. I like rappers like Kendrick Lamar. No Name is really good. Yeah, just random stuff. It's a wide variety. Really the only thing that I don't listen to is like rock, I guess you could say, and country music. Those are the really only two things that I don't really listen to like regularly. But I will say that if it's a song that I like, it has a good beat, has good lyrics, I'll listen to it. So yeah. The next question is, if you could hang out with 3 characters from books, TV shows, films, whatever, who would they be and what would you guys do? This is really difficult. I'm gonna try to pick one from each because I do consume all 3 mediums pretty regularly. So if I was to pick one person from a book that I'd want to hang out with, I'd probably pick Hoa from the Broken Earth series. He is a stone eater, and I would really just want to pick his brain about their origins, their culture and all of that, because I was so interested in the stone eaters, and I don't think we could really do anything because they're kind of like very just stoic things, so they're like made of stone basically. So I would just want to ask him a lot of questions and spend as much time as possible learning about their culture because I think it's really interesting. In film, I'd want to hang out with Nathan from Misfits. He seems like a really cool guy, so I'd really want to just like go out, get a couple drinks, have a good laugh, just hang out with him. He seems really funny, really laid back, and just someone I could be friends with and just like laugh at, like enjoy from a distance. I feel like he would definitely bring my anxiety down because he's just so laid back and just like chill about everything, and he makes a joke about everything. So I feel like I would just want to hang out with him and like be his friend. In film, if I were to hang out with someone, I'd want to hang out with Shuri from the Black Panther movie. I think she's really cool, so I'd want to just like maybe create some type of machine or device with her. I think that would be really cool. She could teach me how to make things because I really like making things as like art and creativity, but I also am really interested in like science and all of that. So I feel like she has a really big science and engineering background, and I have the really like artistic background, so I think we could make something really cool. So I would want to hang out with her in her like lab and just make something awesome. I don't know what, but something cool. So yeah, those are my answers. That was a really hard question, but I think I picked some good people. So the next question is, what is my favorite snack? There are a book genre that I haven't tried that I want to. For the first one, my favorite snack, I am obsessed with like black olives, if that's a thing. It's not really a snack. It's not really supposed to be, but I like love black olives. I will eat them, like I just will eat them all the time, so that's really what I gravitate towards. I also really like chips and salsa. I think if I were to pick like a chip snack that I could eat forever, it would be chips and salsa. It's my favorite. Chunky salsa, spicy, love it, love it. If there's a genre that I haven't really dived into that I want to, I would probably say like mystery. I haven't read a ton of mystery. Honestly, I could probably say maybe 1 or 2 mystery books, and I don't really gravitate towards wanting to pick them up, but I do kind of want to explore it. A lot of people do read it, and I think it would be interesting. I just would think it would be difficult to kind of figure out which ones I would be interested in the beginning, but that is something that I do want to eventually get into. Okay, so the next couple are questions are all from one person, and the first one is, what does your life look like outside of Booktube? Booktube is my life, no. So what other things do I devote my time to other than reading? And reading is definitely a huge chunk of that. I devote my time pretty much always to reading. I also have a dog, which you sometimes see on this channel. He's sleeping in the bed right now, so don't want to wake him up because he will be really hyper. But I take care of him. I like to spend a lot of time with my dog. He's my life. He's my child. So I spend a lot of time with him. His name is Chevy. I will put some cute little pictures up so you can see him, because I'm not going to go and get him because it's too much. I also work full-time at like a marketing agency. So I used to be a writer, but now I do like project management and hiring. So yeah, kind of utilizing my skills. I went to school to become a writer, but not really anymore. That's a long, whole different story. What do I do with my time? I watch a lot of TV too. I read books. That's really all I spend my time on, and hanging out with people and hanging out with my dog. That's really it. I do like to make things, so on occasion I bind books. So I like to bind my own journals and things like that. I have a huge journal collection. I really like the journal and just the usability of a good journal. So I might do a journal haul or something like that, or I might show you my journal collection in one of these videos. It's pretty big, and they all are not used because I'm too afraid to use them because they're so beautiful. But yeah, that's basically it. Booktube, or reading and just consuming books is really a big part of my life, and also just being lazy. That's really all I do. So is there any person or thing that kind of motivated me to start Booktube? Really the motivating factor for me to start Booktube was I was really getting into YouTube. I was watching a lot of non-Booktube YouTubers, mainly in lifestyle and makeup, and I really liked the idea of being able to share a passion that I really loved, and I have always loved books. So I had never heard of Booktube and didn't really know the community existed. So I started saying, well, let me see if there are people actually talking about books on YouTube. And I saw that there was a huge community. I started watching a ton of videos and was like, wow, I could really do this. This could be something that I do as a hobby. It was during a pretty dark time in my life. I was working at a job I really did not like, and it wasn't really utilizing the skills that I had learned. And I just felt like I was kind of in a downward spiral and just wasn't really doing anything productive with my life. So I figured I could do Booktube as a way to do something that I felt accomplished something and really shared my passion with other people. So that's kind of what drove me into Booktube. During that time, I was really following people like Reagan from Prose Project, India from Books and Big Hair, and also Jen Campbell. Those were kind of the people that were wow, they're awesome and amazing, and I really want to do this too. And then our last question is, what booktubers inspire me? So I mentioned the first 3. They really inspire me. I like all of the videos that they do. Also, I'm really inspired by Books and Lala. I think her channel is amazing, and I think that she does a lot of different and unique things that are kind of adding a little spice to the booktube community, which I really appreciate. I'm also inspired by Francina Simone, Jordan Harvey. Yeah, those are some really great booktubers that I really enjoy watching their channels, and I find that I get the most inspiration to make YouTube videos when I watch their videos. So yeah. And the last question is, if you could direct a book to screen adaptation of any book, which would you choose? And for this one, I would have to pick The Last Days of Magic by Mark Tompkins. This is an easy answer for me because I've talked about how I think this book would make a really great movie. It's very cinematic in the way that he writes it and describes it, and I think it would just translate really well on screen. So I absolutely love the book, and I think it talks about very interesting things, and I love the setting and just the fact that we follow very different characters and their storylines don't really go where you expect them to. But ultimately, I thought it was a really great book, and I think it would be an even better movie, so that was what I would choose for that question. So yeah, those are all the questions that all of you have asked. If I missed any, let me know in the comments, or if you have any additional questions, I'll answer them down below in the comments. Thanks for everyone that submitted a question. I really enjoyed all the questions you guys asked. It was really fun. And thanks again for watching and for 1,000 subscribers. I'm really enjoying being on Booktube, and I'm just happy to be here. I also wanted to mention, for those of you that are still on this video, I did not complete Vlogmas, but that was because I was away. I got my wisdom teeth taken out, so I was kind of like swollen and didn't really have time to film, and I was supposed to record a lot of videos before I got my wisdom teeth out in preparation for the last couple of days of Vlogmas, but that didn't happen because it was a really busy week. So yeah, Vlogmas did not go as planned, but I did get to like about 18 days, so that's pretty good, and it's taught me a lot about being able to plan and prepare a lot of videos in advance so that I can post consistently on a weekly basis. So yeah, really enjoyed Vlogmas, and I hope you guys really enjoyed all the videos I made as well. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys very soon with another one. Bye!